All right, first off, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, right? That's all honor and glory to the Most High God through His Son, who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, man. Right? I want to give a hearty shalom, a sincere shalom to the Akwat and Akim. That's been in His faith, being diligent, right? Fasting, praying, doing everything they can to abide in the truth, man. And I also want to give double honors to the elect elders that's been pushing His word with sincerity and faith for many years, man. So we back at it again with another Sabbath service, man. This one is entitled "Eat from the Tree of Life," man. In these last days, or die, right? There's no in between. There's no gray area, man. Eat from the tree of life in these last days, or die, right? So let's get into it, man. Start off, man, with the beginning, man. The book, right? The book of Genesis, chapter 2, and verse 9. I'm starting at 8. And Yahweh planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there He put a man whom He had formed. And out of the ground made Yahweh power to grow every tree that is pleasant in the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Right? So the tree of life, man. Right? So what's that tree of life, man? Let's go to the book. Right? Sirach, in the book of Proverbs. Chapter 3. And I'm going to start at verse 15. She is more precious than rubies, and all things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that laid hold upon her. Happy is everyone that retained her, man. Right? I'm going to start at verse 1 so you can know what that's talking about. But the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments, man. So what? That tree of life is the law of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's the tree of life, right? So you got to be abiding in the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in these last days, or what? Be put to death, man. Right? Go ahead.
Khan, the brother's bringing out a good point. I'm going to jump up to verse 13, right? It says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. Right? So the Most High said you'll be happy when you find wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? It's a good thing. It's a glorious thing. It's a thing to be proud of, man. Right? And it says, for the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. So this is the precious thing, man. Right? This is something that you should be desiring more than fine gold, more than cars, more than clothes, more than status, more than anything in this world, man. You should desire to do the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to keep His law, statutes, and commandments, man. Right? Let me get this precept real quick. This is Sirach, the 19th chapter. Sirach 19 and verse 20. And it reads, the fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of His omnipotence. Right? So the fear of the Lord all wisdom is the performance of the law. Right? So you want to be performing the law in these last days, because if you don't, like the brother then brought out, you will be put to death, man. Right? You want to be protected, man. Wasn't the Most High servant David protected for keeping the law? Wasn't Solomon, who asked for understanding and wisdom, right? Wasn't he given a multitude of other things? And wasn't he one of the Lord's favorite kings, man? Right? So you want to be keeping the law, right, and doing righteousness, right? When we was in the wilderness, only 2 people made it out, man. Only 2 people made it out. And those were the 2 who was keeping the commandments diligently and hearkening on to the words of the Lord. Right? Let me get this in Sirach. Chapter 2 and verse, I'm going to read 15 on down. It says, they that fear the Lord will not disobey His word, and they that love Him will keep His ways. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto Him, and they that love Him shall be filled with the law. So the things that the Lord loves is the law, man. He loves when he sees men, women, children keeping the law, celebrating the high holy days, keeping the Feast of Tabernacles, keeping the Passover, right? It's a pleasant thing unto the Lord, right? And let's read. It says, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sights, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men, for all his majesty is, so is his mercy. Right? So you should desire to fall into the hands of the Lord rather than the hand of men in these last days. Right? Let me get one more and I'm going to pass it back to the brother. The book of James. James, what was that? James 2. It's a lot. Give me a second. James chapter 2. Right, in verse 14, right? It says, what doeth it profit, my brethren, that though a man say he have faith and have not works, can faith save him? And that answer is no, man. You can't just have faith, right, and expect it's going to save you. You got to have faith and works. That's the whole thing, right? That's been since the very beginning. There's been people who believe. There's devils who believe. Good job, you know what I'm saying? But do they have the works bring forth that fruit, right? I'm gonna skip straight down to the end, right, and get to the gist of this whole point, man, right? This is James 6. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without work is dead also. That's plain. Pass it back to the brother.
That's right. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, man. Right? So what, man? Keeping the commandments of the Most High God, it sets us on high above all the nations of the earth, man. Right? Let's go to the book. And all this is pertaining to the tree of life, because we've already established that the tree of life is the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. Right? So we got to be eating of the fruit thereof, man. Right? Let's get the book of Jeremiah. Like Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 14. O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee, man? So how can you wash your hearts from wickedness? What can you use to cleanse your ways from being wicked, man? Right? Let's get the classic. It's the book, right, of Ephesians. It's the book of Ephesians. So like it. Chapter 5 and verse 26. And it reads, that thou might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word, man. Right? So the way you're gonna wash thine heart from wickedness is by the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. By keeping the commandments of the Most High. Right? This is eating of that tree of life, man. Right? By keeping the commandments, you eating that living manna, man. Right? Let's get another one. Right? It's the book. It's the classic, another classic, man. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1. Right? The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father. Forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head and chains about thy neck. Right? See that? So you cannot forget the law of your mother, man. She's an ornament of grace unto thy head and the chains about thy neck, right? And we'll jump down to the book of Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof, Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have said at not all my counsels, and none of my reproofs. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when your distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear Yahweh. Right? We already established that the knowledge of the Lord is his law, statutes, and commandments. We already established that fearing the Lord is doing which is well pleasing unto him, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, and keeping the faith, man. Right? So by not doing this, the Lord has said what? He's going to laugh at your calamity in that day, man. He ain't going to deal with you in that day, man. He'll kind of just literally be laughing at you. You know, all hell going to be breaking loose. You're going to be calling out to the Lord, asking the Lord, what's going on? Can you save me? Can you save me? And he going to be up there literally laughing at you. Him and the angels going to be cracking jokes, you know. Let's get another one.
I got one when you're ready, y'all.
Come on. Let me get one more. Pass it back to you. Right? It's the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, verse 1, chapter 1 and verse Sirach. Is it 1? I'm gonna go to verse. I'm gonna go to chapter 2, right? It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, and verse. Shalaki. Chapter 2 and verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man, which is in him? Even so, the things of Yahweh knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yahweh. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yahweh, that we might know the things that are freely given unto us. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but in the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. Right? So what? The wisdom, law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High is what? The spirit of the Most High. Right? And these things teach us the spiritual things, which these spiritual things, pursuant to the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 6, is what? Life, man. But that the wisdom of the world is carnality, which is what? Death, man. So you got to be eating of this tree of life, which is this wisdom, law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. With that, I pass it back to the brother. You on mute, Doc.
My bad. Right? The the brother's bringing out amazing points, man. Right? Let me write this down real quick. It's a lot. And it's 3. Right? So yeah, the brother's bringing out good points, man. And one thing he did mention was, being clean, right? Because we're supposed to be clean, right? Right? Let's get this real quick in the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto, according to thy word. Right? So you're supposed to take heed unto the word, man. Right? Let's read. This says, with my whole heart have I sought thee. Right? So you're also supposed to search for the Most High with your whole heart, right? And then let's read. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. Right? Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. Right? So you're supposed to lay these commandments inside of your heart. You're supposed to keep them close. Right? You're not supposed to let them go. You're not supposed to let them be tossed to and fro within the earth, man. You got to keep your mind, right, your soul focused on the law, statutes, and commandments and serving the Most High, right? Let me get this in Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 25. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. Right? So the Lord wants us to be clean, man. He just said that he's going to cleanse us, that he's going to make us clean in these last days, man. When he's going to do this ultimately going when we go into the wilderness, right? But it's also, you know what I'm saying, that's how a young man may please his way, by taking heed unto the word. Right. So the Lord, he wants us to be clean, man. He commanded us to be clean. Right. Let me get this in the book of Sirach. Right. Because the Lord, he gave us commandment, right? And he commanded us to be clean. One thing we got to realize, man, you know what I'm saying, is that the Lord's word, you know what I'm saying, is final. It's absolute. That's his omnipotence, like his power, man. Right. No man can go past the words of the Lord, man. Right. This is Sirach 3:3. Whoso honoreth his father make an atonement for his sins. And who is our father? Right? Isn't the Lord our heavenly Father? Isn't the Lord's prayer, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name? Right? So you honoring the Father is making atonement for your sins, man. And there's no number of sins that we have, man. Our sins could go on for years, for decades. If I can probably name all of my sins, I will be dead by the time I get done, man. So you know what I'm saying? We gotta, listen to the words of the Lord, right? Let me read now. And it says, and he that honoreth his mother is one that layeth up treasure. Right. So we have treasures in this thing, man. And who is our mother? Right. Yeah, we have an earthly mother, right? But everything is twofold. We also have a spiritual mother, man. Right. And our spiritual mother is wisdom, right? This is the book of Sirach 24:18. I am the mother of fair love. This is going into wisdom and fear and knowledge and holy hope. I therefore, being eternal, am given to all my children, which are named of him. All right, and I'm gonna prove to you this is going into wisdom. This is Sirach 24:1. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. Right, and her people is the Lord, the Lord's people, and that's the Israelites, man. Deuteronomy 7:6. Right. Let me also get this in Job 33. Slot, give me a second. Job 33. Right, this is the book of Job, chapter 33, and verse 23. It says, if there be a messenger with him, no, I'm gonna go up. Yea, his soul draweth near unto the grave, and his life to the destroyer. Right, so the people who are in this world who's not obeying the Lord, right, their life is going closer and closer to the grave with each and every day. The Lord's coming back like a thief in the night. Right, but it reads, if there be a messenger with him, an interpreter, one among 1,000, to show unto men his uprightness. Who is that one among 1,000? That's the prophets, the interpreter, the people who can understand the words of the Lord and give it back into the sheep. Right? And it reads, then he is gracious unto him and saith, deliver him from going down to the pit, which is the grave. I have found a ransom. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to the days of his youth. Right? So you coming back to the Lord, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You reading the book, you studying the scripture. It refreshes you. Right? It gives you, it makes you clean. It refreshes you. It refreshes your spirit. Right? Let me get this right here in the book of Proverbs. Because the Lord, he gave us several commandments, man. And you're not going to know it unless you open up and you read, man. Right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, right? Running waters out of thine own well, right? And what is this cistern? Hey, that's the word, man. This is our own cistern, right? The Muslims, they got the unholy Quran, right? The Chinese man, he got his idols, right? Buddha, right? Why is it that our people go harking on to everybody else's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but not our own, right? That's a curse, man, right? And it reads, let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of water in thy streets, right? So you're supposed to let your knowledge, of the Lord be poured out, man. And you're supposed to, call out of pour it out in the streets as well, right? It says, let them be only thine own and not strangers with thee, right? Let thy fountains be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. And the wife of thy youth is wisdom, man, right? But let's get this, man. This is my last thing. I'm going to pass it back, man. Right? Because we got to drink waters by our own cistern, right? Our own cistern, right, is his word, but it's just the word for a certain reason, right? And I'm going to show you why. This is Jeremiah 2:13. It says, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the foundation of living waters, right? So the Lord is the foundation of living waters, man. right? And it reads, and healed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can't hold no water. That's going to other doctors and religions, right? So this is our cistern because this is what the Lord gave unto us. This is our connection back to the Most High, right? He put his words here so us to get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and get the knowledge of the Lord. With that, I'm gonna pass it back to the brother.
You got a precept, Jamaica?
Yeah, kind of. All right. I'm gonna pull Proverbs 3. I start from the top, and it says,
Slot King, we already went to Proverbs 3 earlier.
"What from the top?"
Yeah, we did a couple precepts to Proverbs 3.
Yeah, I grab 13 too. Yeah, I went through all that with the wisdom.
Come on.
All right. What about Matthew 19?
La.
All right, this is Matthew 19 and verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahweh. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. So we know that keeping these commandments, as pursuant to Proverbs 3, said, our wisdom, keeping the commandments, the laws, the statutes is going to give us that tree of life, or that's the doctrine of life for us that's going to sustain us and, give us length of days. Let me see if I can grab something else. Bear with me. And man, I wish I was here from the beginning so I know everything that y'all pulled out. My computer not even booting up, so I had to jump on my phone. Let's see. All right. All right, it's the book of Sirach 1, and I start at 11. The fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and long life. Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. So we all know that the fear of the Lord, I mean, it says it many times that in here, it is wisdom. It would be your wisdom and things like that. And then the brothers just broke down what your wisdom is. Like all this, reverencing the Lord, fearing the Lord, and jumping in this wisdom is what's going to give you that length of days. And with that, I'll pass.
Salah. Can brothers hear?
Khan.
Okay, Khan. I'm sorry. You want to get in there, or is it okay if I pull this precept real quick?
Yeah, Salaki, I was on mute. I didn't realize I was on mute. I'm pulling the precept right now.
Okay, go ahead. You got it.
It's the book of Job, chapter 24, and I'm going to start at verse 16. In the dark, they dig through houses which they have marked for themselves in the daytime. They know not light. And we understand the light is what? The law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, pursuant to the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 23. Right? For in the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. If one know them, they are in terrors of the shadow of death. He is swift as waters. Their portion is cursed in the earth. He beholdeth not the way of the vineyards. He's talking about the wicked man. Drought and heat consume the snow waters. So doeth the grave those which have sinned, man. right? So if you're not keeping the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you're not eating of that tree of life, right? It says that the grave will consume you the same way drought and heat consume snow waters, man, right? So what? You got to be eating of that tree of life, continuing in the word of the Most High in order to live in these last days, man, right? Let's get another precept. It's the book, right? Well, let me go here first, right? It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon Yahweh, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches, nothing in comparison of her. So nothing is in comparison of the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Not riches, not a scepter, not a throne, not long life. Nothing is in comparison to the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Nothing compares to eating of that tree of life, man. Right? Reading on. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as a little sand, and silver as be counted as clay before her. You see that? Gold is as little as sand. Gold is worth as much as sand compared to damn wisdom, man. Right? I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light, for the light that cometh from her never goeth out. You see that? So when you eat no wisdom, the light that come from wisdom, it don't go out, man. Wisdom is eternal, man. Reading on. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goeth before them. I knew not that she was the mother of them. I learned diligently, and do communicate her liberally. I do not hide her riches, for she is a treasure unto men that never faileth, which they that use become the friend of Yahweh, being commended for the gifts that come from learning, man. So those that use wisdom, those that eat of this tree of life, those that are bound in the word of the Most High, they become a friend of Yahweh, man. Right? Salakia, verse 15. Yahweh granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as it meet for things that are given me, because he has leaded unto wisdom and directed the wise. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship. Salakia, right? Now I'm gonna go here real quick. Go to the book of Ezekiel. Jump back into Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 real quick. Let me go to Ezekiel real quick before I do that. The book of Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 7. So I prophesied as I commanded, and I prophesied. There was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, say to the wind, thus saith Yahweh power, come from the four winds, O breath, and the breath upon these slain, that they may live, man. Right? So what? In order to live, you need that breath. You need that breath to be breathed into you, man. Right? It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh, and pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her hand, man. So that breath that you need to be breathing inside of you in order for you to live, right, is the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. That's what brought these dry bones back to life, man. The wisdom, right? So when we out there shaking a damn hand, prophesying, right, giving our people understanding and wisdom, we literally are breathing life back into them, man. We literally breathing life back into the dry bones and bringing them back to life, right? And with that, I'm gonna pass it back to the brother.
Con. Right, this is the book of Psalms, right? Chapter 119 and verse 27. It says, make me to understand the ways of thy precepts, so shall I talk of thy wondrous works. Right. And so, we got to declare, the works of the Most High, man, all his wondrous and glorious works, man. Let me get this book in the book of Psalms 19. right? So we got to declare the works of the Lord and how glorious and how wondrous they are, man. But the Lord has done some mighty things, right? He's created us. He's created the heavens and the earth, right? He split over the Red Sea for us, right? He's destroyed countless of nations of people. He killed all the firstborns of Egypt. He led us through a dark and wilderness place, right? He sent his only son, Yahweh, right, to die for our sins. So the Lord has done marvelous things for us, man. Here's another thing of the Lord's works, man. You read Psalms 19, verse 7, right? The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple, right? So he gave us a way for us to be wise, man, right? And not only that, he gave us his laws, which converts our soul, right? There's nothing in this world that you can probably find, you know what I'm saying, that can convert your soul, making it from unclean to clean, right? Let's read. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandments of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes, right? And this is the best way to get enlightened, man, right? We don't need to sit here and smoke weed, right? And be stuck on stupid for 3 hours, you know what I'm saying, to be enlightened, man. You don't have to sit outside and meditate crisscross applesauce with your fingers like this, right? Going, we don't do that, man. We read the law, statutes, and the commandments. We read the scriptures, and the Lord enlightens us and gives us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether, right? Verse 10, right? More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb, right? So this word unto us needs to be sweet, man. It needs to be pleasant. There are more to be desired than gold, right? You know, in the world, you know, you kind of see a rainbow in the sky. I don't know. The brothers always wondered this. I know I did when I was younger. You know, there's a saying in the world, you know, at the end of the rainbow, there's a leprechaun with a pot of gold, man. I used to actually try to see, you know what I'm saying, okay, where the rainbow is, how can we get back to it so I can get to the pot of gold? You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that, you know what I'm saying, this right here is that pot of gold. The rainbow is the covenant that the Lord made with us, with my forefathers. Right? So the Lord gave us a way to find the word, man. He gave us a way to find these treasures of gold, these treasure chests of gold, man. The X is marking the spot, man. And it's landing right here on top of the Bible, right? It says, moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is a great reward, right? And what is that reward, man? That reward is the kingdom. That reward is a glorious body to be rulers over 10 cities, man, right? Let me get this in the book of Revelations. Let me get this in the book of Revelations, right? Chapter 14, right? Verse 11. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name, right? So all the people who worship the beast in this world, right, they're going to be put to death. That's just the Lord, man. The Lord said, if you are a friend of the world, hey, you're an enemy of the Lord, man, right? Let's read, right? Verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints, who are the Israelites, according to Psalms 148 and 14, right? And here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh, right? Verse 13, it says, and I hear a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth, right? Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may have rest from their labors and their works do follow them, right? So the Most High is going to give us rest, man. And our works, right, what we sown in the earth, right, that's going to follow us up to the heavens, man. And the Lord's going to judge us by our works, man. We bring it out all the time, right? This is Revelations chapter 18, right, verse 1 and 2. It says, and after these things I saw another angel came down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory, right? And it reads, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. It has become the habitation of devils, right? And what is devils? Devils are deceivers, evil spirits and unclean people, right? Right. And who are devils today? Hey, we're in Babylon the Great. You go talk to people, you ask them about the Lord, they'll deceive you, man. Oh yeah, man, we go to our church, we just got done having a barbecue pit, man. Yeah, they made some pork ribs, it was real good, man. Not knowing that pork is against the law, showing that they are deceivers, man. Right? And let's read. It says, and the whole of every foul spirit. And what are foul spirits? Unclean people, people who can defile themselves through their lust of their flesh, man. And ultimately, the Lord gave them up to that, but it's because they had a reprobate mind and they, refused not to follow the Lord, right? And it reads, right, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, right? And Israel is likened unto a dove. So if Israel is likened unto the dove, these other nations can be likened unto birds as well, man, right? The Most High, he classifies Esau as an eagle, man, a proud animal, right? If you look and study the habits, the attributes of animals, you'll understand, right? An eagle, when it rains, an eagle don't like to get wet. So what it does is it flies over the clouds, and it will sit there and fly over the clouds until the rain is stopped. That's being a proud animal, man, right? Let me get this in Revelations 21:8, right? 21 and verse 8. It says, but the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And if your works follow you to the grave, and the Lord is going to resurrect everybody, hey, he's resurrecting you just to put you back to death, man. And that's a heavy lot to be in. You don't want to be in that lot, man. You do not want to be in a lot of being brought back on earth just to be put to death again. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this last precept and I'm going to pass it on to the next mighty speaker. Right? This is Job 36 in verse 11. It says, if they obey and serve him, they shall spend their day in prosperity and their years in pleasure. Right? But verse 12, it says, but if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword and they shall die without knowledge. So the Lord said he's going to smite you down in your foolishness, in your stupidity, if you don't follow his word, man. And if you do follow his word, you have prosperity and pleasure, right? I'm going to pass it on to the next brother.
All right, I'm going to start with Proverbs 11. So Proverbs 11 and verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. So you know that you're not going to be able to buy your way out of this thing. The only way, the currency of this world, no matter how much you have, is not going to buy you out of it. Your righteousness would be that spiritual currency. And what is your righteousness? That'll be, let me get this, Psalms 119 and 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. So, that's pretty plain. Let me jump back. All right, boom. Proverbs 11 and verse 5. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. You know what? Let me jump down. I'm gonna jump down to verse 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth much more the wicked and the sinner. So you gotta be righteous in these days if you plan on obtaining that tree of life. You know what I'm saying? You can't live in wickedness and expect to be saved in that day, to have long length days and all that type of jazz. All right, where else I was going? Salakia. Okay, got it. This is Psalms 12 and verse 6. The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of the earth, purified 7 times. We know that 7 is a number of, some full completion, and the words of the Lord are, you know, basically everything that you need to get through. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna purify you, or more so, cleanse your ways. You feel me? All right, let me go. Anybody bring out Proverbs 4? All right, this is Proverbs 4 and verse 2. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also, and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments and live. Like it says it so many times, bro. This is your straight and narrow, your straight and narrow, your way into, the length of days, long life, you know, prosperity, as these pastors teach these days. All right. And then I'm gonna grab one more. When I was like it, I grabbed two more. But yeah, this is Revelation 22 and 14 at the very end of that thing. It says, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter into through the gates into the city. I mean, it damn near seemed like I'm steadily reiterating myself in so many different ways. It's like this repetition is crazy. It ain't no way around it. All right, this the last one. It's the book of Sirach 19 and 18. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. And I mean that's pretty much the point of everything that we bringing out today. But yeah, with that I rest.
Mighty precepts. It's the book of John, chapter 6, and verse 51. And it reads, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. Right? So are you physically gonna be eating Yahweh's flesh? Right? Is he physically bread? Is that what you're gonna eat of, man? No, man. Right? You gotta eat of the word. You gotta eat of the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, man. Right? You gotta eat this roll. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 19, and what is it? Verse 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh, man. Right? So Yahweh is the living embodiment of the word. So when you eat of the bread of Yahweh Yahweh, you eating of this word, man. You eating the roll, right? And you having the faith that Yahweh is our redeemer, man. Right? Because we can't have one without the other, as a brother brought out earlier, man. We gotta have the faith, but we also gotta remember to do the works that prove that we actually have faith, man. Right? So eating of that word is eating of the tree of life, man. The tree of life represents the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. That fruit is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. This bread is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, the living manna, man. Right? Let's get another precept. Let's go to the book. Right? The book of Exodus. The book of Exodus, chapter 19, I believe. The book of Exodus, chapter 19 and verse 5. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people on the face of the earth, man. Right? So you got to obey the words of Yahweh Shem Yahshai and keep the covenants, which is keeping the commandments, to be that peculiar people above all nations, man. Right? To have good health and good success, man. Right? Let's get that in the book of Joshua, man. Right? It's the book of Joshua. It's a classic precept, man. The book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 8. And it reads, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, for then shalt thou make thy way prosperous, and thou shalt have good success, man. Right? So keeping the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is the way to have good success and make your ways prosperous. Not keeping the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is a good way to get put to death, man. And it's just like that, man. All right, let's get another one. Go to the book. All right. Man, it's a lot of precepts running through my mind right now, man. Go to the book of Psalms, right? Chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. So if you're not standing in the way of sinners, then guess what? That means you walking in the way of the law, right? Mm-hmm. But his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night, just like it said in the book of Joshua. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither. Hey, his leaf shall not wither, man. His leaf shall not wither, man. If a tree leaf doesn't wither, what does that mean? It means that tree is staying prosperous and living, man. Right? So your leaf won't wither. That means you'll stay prosperous and be living, man. Right? By being planted by the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Right? It says his leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor the sinners in the congregation of the righteous. That's going into what the brother just brought out in the book of Revelation, man. The sinners are not going to stand in the congregation of the righteous. They're not going to have the right to the everlasting life, man. Instead, they're going to what? They're going to be put to death, man. They're going to have, like the brother brought out in Revelation, they're going to partake in that lake of fire, man. Right? Congregation of the righteous. For Yahweh knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish, man. Straight like that, man. All right, let's get another one. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 37, right? In verse 1. Fret not thyself because of the evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. A worker of iniquity is a person in sin. That person is not eating of the tree of life. That person is not walking in the wisdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They're not walking in righteousness, man. Right? Verse 2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, wither as the green herb, man. So, hey, if you ain't walking in the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, it say you're going to be cut down as the grass, man. Kind of mowed down, man. Right? It say soon, man. Right? It says what? Trust in the Lord and do good. And what's good? We know that the law is good, man. Right? So shalt thou dwell in the land. Verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto Yahweh. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth the righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in Yahweh, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right? I'm going to jump to verse 9. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while the wicked shall not be. Thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. Straight like that, man. So, hey, the wicked, hey, they ain't going to be. And the wicked is anybody not keeping the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. And the Lord said they're not going to be. Right? Let's get another one. Right? Let's go to the book of Job. It's the book of Job. Chapter 17 and verse 8. Right? Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger, man. Right? And you have clean hands by what? Being washed by the word, being sanctified by the word. And those that have clean hands shall be stronger and stronger in these last days, man. Right? So yet another one. The book of Job, chapter 18 and verse 5. Yet the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be darkened in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. You see that? So the wicked, man, those that's not keeping the commandments, not eating of the tree of life, their light shall be put out, man. Right? Their light shall be put out, and it shall be darkness in his tabernacle, man. Right? The Lord gonna blow his candle out, man. Meaning they won't have life, man. Right? Let's get one more, man. It's the book of Job, chapter 11, right? In verse Salakia. I lost my spot. Right? Verse 14. If iniquity be in thy hand, put it far away from thee, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles. For then thou shalt lift up thy face without spot. Yeah, that shall be steadfast and shall not fear, because thou shalt forget thy misery and remember it is as waters that pass away. And thine age shall be clear, and the noonday thou shalt shine forth, thou shalt be as the morning. Right? So what, man? If you cast wickedness away from you, man, you shall shine as the noonday, man. Right? That's what you don't want to be in darkness. You want to be shining as the noonday. So you got to put that wickedness far away from you. How do you put the wickedness far away from you? Well, the brother already brought it out, man. Right? The book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7, man. Being converted by the commandments of Yahweh, man. Right? And with that, I'm gonna pass it to the next brother, man.
Right. Let me get this real quick in the book of Proverbs, man. Proverbs 9 and 1. Wisdom hath built her house. She hath hewed out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beast. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table. So wine is likened onto wisdom in the scriptures, man. Right. With that being said, let me get this real quick. Right. Let me get one more precept. Is Proverbs 11. It says, a false balance is an abomination unto the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Right. So the Lord, he made wine on the left hand, and he also made wine on the right hand. Right. He gave you wisdom of wickedness, right? Folly, madness, sorcery, and a multitude of other abominations, right? But he also gave you the wisdom of righteousness, of being lawful, right? Showing brotherly love and keeping the commandments and the faith of Yahweh Shah. Right? So there's wisdom on 2 scales of this thing, right? Let me get this real quick. Right? This is the book of First Ezra, right? Chapter 3 and verse 10, right? The first wrote, wine is the strongest, right? So this is a parable going into wine, right? And it reads, I'm going to jump down to verse 17. It says, and he said unto them, right? Declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Because they were trying to figure out what is more greater, wine, a king, or a woman, right? What was the greatest in the world? You know what I'm saying? One said wine, one said the king, the other said a woman, right? But let's figure out what he said about wine. It says, and he said, declare unto us your mind concerning the writing, then began the first who has spoken of the strength of wine. He said unto them, he said thus, O ye men, how excellently strong is wine. It causes all men to err that drink it. Right? So depending on what wine you drink, right? If you're drinking wine of this world or the wine of righteousness, one of those two can cause you to err, man. We both know that's a wine of this world, right? And it reads, and it maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one, of the bondman and of the free man, of the poor man and of the rich, right? So if you're drinking the wine of this world, hey, that can make you just like everybody else, man. And you're not like everybody else. The Lord said he has separated you to be special and holy unto him. Why are you trying to be like everybody else? Right? Let me get this precept real quick. Salah. Get this precept over here in the First Maccabees. Right? This is First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41. Right? Moreover, King Antiochus, who was wicked, right, wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his law, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Right? So you're not supposed to leave the commandment of our king, man. Right? So so you drinking this wine of this world is gonna make you liken unto everybody else, and what I'm saying, the world is gonna be destroyed. So it's 2/3 of the people, man, and only a small remnant of Israel which should be saved, man. Right? That's Jeremiah 3:23, if I remember correctly. Right? Let's continue reading though. Right? It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembers neither sorrow nor death. Right? So wine's going to make you joyous. It's going to make you in mirth, and it's not going to let you remember, right, the sorrows or the depths that you have, man. And sometimes those things are there for a reason. Right? You're supposed to feel sorrowful when you sin and go against the Lord. You're supposed to feel sorrowful when you break the covenants that we made with our Lord, man. We're indebted to the Lord, man. He put us out. He took us out of the land in Egypt, right, and made a covenant with us to put us on top. Right? We are indebted unto the Lord, man. Right? Let me get this in Sirach real quick before I go to Romans. Right? I'm gonna get this in Sirach. Sirach 11. Sirach chapter 11. Right? Verse where is it? Sirach 11 and verse 25. It says, in the day of prosperity, there's forgiveness of affliction. Right? So while you over here being in mirth, being in gladness, being in a house of mirth, right? You forget affliction. You forget that you're in slavery. You forget that your people are being abused. You forget the affliction that's going on with our people, man. How they used to skin us and used to make leather coats out of our skin, right? How they used to come and rape our women. How they used to come and kill our children using them as gator bait. We forget the affliction that happened to us because we're in mirth, man. Right? That's why the Lord says it's better to be in a house of mourning than in a house of mirth. Right? But let me go back to the book of Romans, man. The Lord also prophesied this. Right? The Lord also prophesied this. The book of Romans, chapter 1, right? In verse 29, it says, being filled with all unrighteousness, right? Fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiting, haters of God, despitefulness, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, right? Without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who, knowing the judgment of Yahweh, right? Because we all know the judgments of Yahweh, right? You got the prophets on the highways and byways, they're declaring it every day, right? If you're living in sin, you're going to be put to death, right? If you're a homosexual, you will be put to death. If you out here, hating your brother in your heart, you will be put to death, right? So everybody knows the judgments of the Lord, man, right? And it reads that they which commit such things are worthy of death, right? Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So the people that do these things, they have pleasure in other people that do these things, right? But the Most High said what? That they are worthy of death, and that's plain. Right, I'm gonna pass it back to the next powerful speaker. It's a lot.
All right, God. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 8. For honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time. It's not how long that you've been on this earth. Just because you made 80 or 90, don't feel like, I done basically been given this grace of this long life because I'm about to make it and be with the Lord. So let me start back from the top. For honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by the number of years. But wisdom is the gray hair unto men. That wisdom is what's going to give you that length of life, like we said, and not necessarily carnally, in your length of years, but I mean life with the Lord, you dig? But the wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. He pleased God and was beloved of him, so that the living among sinners he was translated. Oh, well, that's going into something else. But I just jumped down to 13 to make the point that I was saying, though. He being made perfect in a short time, fulfilled a long time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily the length of age when we're going into, this whole tree of life thing and thinking that, you got to live for X amount of time, you know what I'm saying, to be feeling like you're going to be with the Lord, Yeah, just because, your grandparent may have made 100 years old. I mean, if they're not living by the words of the Lord, I mean, yeah, it's just pretty. I ain't got to say it. All right, let me grab this. It's the book of Sirach 27 and verse 8. If thou followest righteousness, thou shalt obtain her, that wisdom. If thou followest righteousness, thou shalt obtain her and put her on as a glorious long robe. So you got to, in order to obtain wisdom, of course, you got to follow after righteousness. And all of it is one and the same. Everything at the end of the day, that's why Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 says what it says. You know what I'm saying? The conclusion of the whole matter is fear God and keep the commandments, because everything revolves around that. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, everything points back to keeping the words of the Lord and doing what he said, doing thus said the Lord. All right, let me grab this. This is Psalm 18, and I'm going to go to verse 20. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands have he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. Right? That's how we got to be. I was also upright before him, and I kept myself from mine iniquity. Therefore hath the Lord recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. We gotta, keep ourselves pure and clean, perfect, however you want to put it. And that's by following through this word of the Lord, that said the Lord. All right, I had something else. That's not what I want. All right, I'll do this one and I'll rest. This is Proverbs 19 and verse 8. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. If you getting it, you're getting wisdom. You love your own soul. That wisdom is going to give you that life, that eternal life with the Lord that everybody should be seeking. And with that, I rest.
Let me get a couple more and we're going to go ahead and close out, man. Right? It's the book of Zechariah. Right? Man, this thing mean, man. The book of Zechariah, chapter 3, man. And I'm gonna start at verse 1. And he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of Yahweh, Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuked thee, O Satan, and even the Lord that had chosen Jerusalem rebuked thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of fire? And Joshua was clothed a filthy garment and stood before the angel. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away thy filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, behold, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with a change of raiment, man. Right? So what? Hey, when he took that iniquity, which is sin, away from him, right? He put on a clean garment, man, a beautiful garment, that glorious long robe that the brother brought out in the book of Sirach 27 and verse 8, man. Right? That change of raiment that our forefather, let's get it real quick, right? And our forefather Jacob told his children, man. Right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 35 and verse 2. Then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean and change your garments, man. So this new garment that Joshua had put on, right, is representing him being clean now, him having pure understanding and not being in iniquity and being in sin, man. Right? And it says what? And I said, let them set a fear mitre upon his head. So they set a fear him with garments, and the angel of Yahweh stood by. And the angel of Yahweh protested unto Joshua, saying, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, if thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, and thou shalt also judge my house, and shalt keep my courts, I will give thee places to walk among these that stand by. Hear now, O Joshua the high priest, thou and thy fellows that sit before thee, for they are men wondered at. For I behold, I will bring forth my servant the branch. For behold, the stone that I have laid before Joshua, upon one stone shall be 7 eyes. Behold, I will engrave the graving thereof, saith the Yahweh of hosts, and will remove the iniquity of that land in one day, man. Right? So it's all about removing the filthiness, the sin, the dirt from us, man. And we do this by what? Taking hold of the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Walking in his ways, man. Keeping his charge, man. So we got to keep the charge of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai in these last days, man. We got to keep the charge of the Most High God. Did he not say in the book, right, Deuteronomy? Let's get it real quick, man. Did he not say in the book of Deuteronomy? Right? Chapter 18 and verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. Right? So what, if you don't hearken unto the words that Yahweh Shai spoke unto you in the name of Yahweh, right? He will require it of you, man. And what did Yahweh Shai say, man? Let's get it. Let's get the book of Luke, right? It's the book of Luke, chapter 10, right? In verse 25, and behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said unto him, what is written in the law, man? So Yahweh Shai told you to keep the law. Yahweh Shai said keep the commandments of his father, man. Right? Did he not say in the book of John? Get it. The book of John, chapter 14 and verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments, man. So Yahweh Shai told you to keep the commandments of the Most High, man. That's literally what a commandment from Yahweh Shai, and it literally told you in the book of Deuteronomy 18 and 18, if you don't listen to this prophet and take heed unto his words, he's going to require it of you, man. And how is he going to require it? Hey, he's going to put you to death, man. He's going to slice your damn head off, man. That's what's going to happen, man. Or if you don't slice your head off, you're going to, well, let's just get it. All right, let's just get it. It's the book. Salakia. The book of Amos, chapter 9, right? It's a classic, man. In verse 10, and it reads, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us, man. So what? Hey, if you're not keeping the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you're not keeping the charge of his son Yahweh Shai, then you're going to die by the sword, man. right? Either death, famine, or pestilence, man, right? Or you might just die in Jacob's trouble, which will still be by the sword, because the so-called white man is the sword of Yahweh, man, pursuant to the book of Psalms, man, chapter 17, right? He's the sword, the wicked, right? Let me get one more, man. The book of Matthew, right? The book of Matthew, chapter 7. And I'm gonna pull this up. I want to pull this up in the NIV. And I don't do this often, but I want to pull this up in the NIV, man. Right? Salakia, bear with me.
Take that from you.
Right? I don't have an NIV Bible, so bear with me. It's the book of Matthew. No, that's not what I want.
You want me to get it out? I can get it for you.
One thing, I got it right here. You got an NIV Bible on you? I got it. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7. In verse, what the hell? I just had it. 7 and verse 23 in the NIV. And it says what? And I will declare to them, I never knew you, you that break God's laws, man. Right? So what? It's playing upon tables, man. You that break God's laws, out of Yahweh's mouth, man. Right? That's playing upon tables. Ain't no way around that. Right? You can't kind of say, he's not talking about God's law. He just said it, man. Playing upon tables, man. Last precept, man. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 7. And let's start at verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and do them, I will like him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended upon the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and it beat upon that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it, man. Right? So if you don't do these sayings of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, which is keeping the commandments and the faith, man, right? Then you're going to be likened unto a man that built his house on the sand, man. And your house is going to crumble in these last days, man, when the rain comes, when the flood comes in, man, which is a so-called white man, the sword of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. I'm going to let any brothers get any closeout precepts they may have, man, and we're gonna close out, man.
Yeah, let me get this real quick, man. This is Ecclesiastes 26 and 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. Right? That's really going into something else, but I'm gonna put it towards this as well. Right? That field, that's the world, man. And you're supposed to sow your work, sow your seed, in it. Right? Trusting in the goodness of your stock, which is the Lord, man, because we are the Lord's portion. He separated us from these nations, right? Let's get a precept on that. Matthew 13 and verse 37. It says, and he answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man, right? The field is the world, and the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that soweth them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reaper are the angels. Right. So long story short, this world, hey, it's sifting season. And we getting closer and closer to the time of harvest, man. And when this time of harvest comes, the Lord's going to send out the angels, and they're going to come and kill each and every man, woman, child, no matter how old or how young you are. Right. He's going to kill them all that don't have the law, statutes, and commandments written in their inward parts. Who's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Let me get this, and then I'm going to pass it on to the next brother so he can get his closing precepts. pass it up. Proverbs. It says, Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from thee a forward mouth and perverse lips, put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy works be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy feet from evil, thy foot from evil. And so my charge to everybody who's going to watch this, everybody who's going to tune in, to remove their feet from evil, ponder the path of their foot, and don't turn neither to the left nor the right hand. Oh, with that, I yield.
All right, come. I just got two things to say. First, being Proverbs 23. This is what I would charge everybody to do. Proverbs 23 and 12. Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. We know those words of knowledge is, of course, thus saith the Lord, the words of his book, man. You're going to have to dive in there and do what the Lord tell you to do. And my final closing statement will be up out of Psalms 103. This is Psalms 103 and 17. But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him. We've already said, quite a few times what the fear of God is. And his righteousness unto children's children, to such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them as plain. And I leave it at that.
That's right. That's right. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Brothers are gonna get out to camp. We're gonna be Lord willing at Discovery Green at 3 p.m. Come out and fellowship. Ask questions. Whatever you're gonna do, whatever you want to do or need to do. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.
Salat. You want to tell them where we're gonna be at?
Yeah, I said Discovery Green.
Oh, Salat. My bad.
Yeah, come. So Lord willing, somebody was edified, man. Keep the commandments of the Most High. Keep the faith. Don't hate your brother or your sister in your heart, right? And keep the Sabbath day, man. A Shar Shabbat.
Shar Shabbat. Shalom.
Shalom.